Alright, so we are back for another unboxing, guys. And actually today we have a really exciting IEM. This is the Kotori Audio Dauntless. And first time that we are checking out the Kotori Audio here in this channel as well. And this is a Japanese IEM dynamic driver based and also $70 in price range as well. And actually they are in Kickstarter right now, so I'm gonna link it down below if you wanna check it out. And yeah, $70, really competitive price range for IEMs right now. So let's check it out if this is competitive in that price range. So looking at the box itself, it's actually nicely packaged here overall. 10mm Japanese dynamic driver, PU plus PEEK composite membrane as well. 0.78mm 2-pin connector, silver plated cable, 20 to 20 kHz in frequency range. And this is gonna be your unboxing experience, of course. Opening it up. That is the Kotori logo as well in front. And opening it up, actually it's not that hard to open, and that is your Dauntless there. That looks really cool. All black in design, some matte black finish as well, and you're getting that case, which is nice for the price range. Semi-hard case as well, and you're getting that even embedded logo in the case here, and that looks really nice. That is definitely welcome, having a custom kind of case is definitely welcome for me. So very much usable case for me overall. And of course in the box you're getting some accessories as well. You're getting additional sets of tips here. Actually, maybe the texture reminds me of maybe Final E tips. You're even getting a carabiner clip for your case, which is nice. And also another set of tips as well. So looking at the IEM itself, so this is gonna be your unboxing experience. So that is your Kotori audio, and actually it's packaged with some plastic. First time that I've seen something like this actually. So as you guys can see, it's more of maybe a custom IEM shape. You have some bulges there at the top, and then you have some fins as well. But this is actually the nicer fins that I do like personally. So it's not that big of a fin. So the fins here is not that big, not that deep as well. But maybe yes, not still the smallest fins that I've seen, but this is already the nicer fins for me. And the shape here maybe reminds me of the CCA CSNs, maybe a custom IEM shape on the ear. So yeah, this will be really stable to wear on the ear, and actually the insertion does go inside the ear as well. So this might be really stable and also isolating in the ear as well. And the build quality actually looks good for me here. The logo is understated. You have that silver logo, also matte black in design. Overall feels really good in the hand. This is the nicer quality resin plastic as well. So looking at the cable, actually it's in the thinner side of things, but the quality feels good here. So it's quite sparkly, as you guys can see. You have a bit of sparkle there. The quality feels nice. It's not the most silky cable, but I do like the quality overall. First, we now have the Dauntless on our ear, and this is what it's gonna look like, guys. So yeah, it's very similar to your CCA CSNs in terms of the overall look on the ear, but I do like that it's understated in design. So the logo here is nicely placed here, quite refined in the overall look for me. And definitely for a $50 pair, this is maybe one of the cleanest looking IEMs that we have seen so far. In terms of the fit on the ear, really stable here. The fin's not that big for me. Still quite stable, but not that big. Actually on my ear, this is kind of like custom fitted to my ear here. Maybe yeah, the fins maybe a touch bigger than what I would like, but this is very close to what I would like here. Very stable on the ear. Isolation is really good. Very comfortable to wear as well. So for the $70 price range, I would say they did the fit nicely here. So let's try to listen to some tunes, and we're gonna use the Cavalli Tube Hybrid with a Glaze S DAC for our listen today. So this is more of a bright hue type of signature to the ear. So definitely there's a lot of clarity on top here. And also this is more of a monitor type of listen to the ear. So very clear kind of presentation to the ear here. So this is also very lively in the overall presentation, quite musical in the overall presentation. And this is definitely more of a clarity focused type of IEM. There's a lot of shine on top, a lot of shimmer on top. So actually in this price range, maybe one of the few dynamic drivers that is more clarity focused of a listen here. So this is something that you want to use for maybe some guitar tracks if you are going to do some monitoring as well. So actually maybe the closest sound that I can think of here is maybe more of a TRN or KZ type of sound to the ear. Clarity focused here overall. You're getting that ample 5K, ample 12K in the mix as well. But one of the bigger differences here is this is a dynamic driver presentation. So tonally it's going to be better, more natural in presentation over maybe your usual KZs and TRNs. So looking at the bass response here, this is actually a different bass for me in the mix compared to your usual KZs and maybe CCAs. So if you look at the signature, the bass is actually flat in the bottom end, but it rises to around 600 hertz region. So definitely this is not going to be your overwhelming bass in the mix. Actually, the bass here is quite controlled in the mix. Maybe there's a touch of mid bass bleed there, but not that bad overall. And actually it's quite tight in the overall presentation as well. But the presentation is not boomy. The presentation is quite fast in the mix. Actually, the whole IEM is quite speedy in the presentation, even for a dynamic driver. So they were able to do something different with the dynamic driver here. So going to the mids, going to the vocals. Actually, the vocals has maybe slight recession in the mix, but not that far off. The vocals as well is more of a bright vocal presentation. So very clear vocal is here. And again, quite natural for me to listen to. So compared to your maybe BA counterparts. So tonally, it's gonna be more natural to listen to here. And recess in the mix, but quite near where I want it to be. So it's still nice positioning for me in the mix here. And what I like about the vocals here is it's really revealing in the mix. And since it's a bright vocal presentation as well, it pushes through the mix nicely. Actually here, I'm now listening to some Up Dharma Down, Luna. So Army's vocals here, actually nice positioning in the mix. So for female vocals, it's gonna be better positioned in the mix, more than the male vocals. So vocals here, quite nice in the mix. However, in the other side, maybe I'm encountering maybe a touch of hotness here in the vocal region. Not that much. Definitely more toned down compared to your KZs, CCAs, TRNs. More toned down compared to that, and also again tonally it's gonna be better. So for some vocal monitoring, guitar monitoring, this will be nice mids for me overall. Also podcast monitoring, this will be nice as well. Actually here we're jumping in for some guitar tracks. This is really nice of a listen for me. So usually for guitar tracks I actually prefer maybe having that bright hue type of shape to the ear. And here in jumping in, the guitarist pushes through the mix nicely, front and center in the mix. And also because of that extension on top, so you can definitely listen to the nuance of the guitars here. I would say yes for the top end, definitely nice for guitar tracks here. So as going to the top end, it's nicely extended on top. So you are getting enough 5K, you are getting enough 12K in the mix as well. Again, this is not going to be your reference pair. This is not going to be your mixing pair as well. So this is more of a monitoring pair for me. This is an all-out monitor type of listen to the ear. So you're getting ample extension on top, lively type of presentation to the mix. In terms of the body and the cymbals, not so bad overall, but this is not the best bodied cymbals that I've listened to. So you're getting that maybe some slight splash there on top. So if you're looking for utmost accuracy, this might not be the pick that you would want. But what I like about the cymbals here is actually front and center in the mix, really lively in the mix as well. However, I do encounter again a bit of maybe sibilance there on top. So this is not something that I will use for long-term listening. So I do have relaxed IEMs for that. This is more of a monitor type of listen to the ear. If you are coming from a KZ, TRN, you will feel right at home with this. And maybe because this has maybe better tonality, you might enjoy this a bit more compared to some of your BA counterparts. Going to soundstage, quite big for me in the mix. Separation above average, but this won't beat out your maybe full BA counterparts. This may be a touch cleaner compared to maybe your Moondrops of the world, touch cleaner compared to that. But this won't be still your separation monster here. Going to detail retrieval, this has a bit more detail compared to your usual dynamic drivers, a bit more nuance in the sound. But again, this won't beat out your 10 driver counterparts. So next, let's compare it to the TFZ My Love 4. And actually in this channel, this might be the closest signature that I can think of with the Dauntless. Both of them have that treble extension on top. Both of them have that maybe fairly level bass at the bottom. And both of them have that maybe 2K dip in the mix. So if not, maybe, there's some similarities or inspirations with these two IEMs here. But actually listening to them, the bass in the TFZ is still gonna be more prominent in the mix. The impactfulness is still gonna be more prominent in the mix. Actually the TFZ My Love 4 as well is gonna be a bit more smooth in the overall presentation. So the bass is gonna be a bit more boomy in the presentation in the TFZs. Actually here in the TFZ My Love 4 is gonna have less maybe sibilant in the overall presentation, less hotness in the overall presentation. So actually compared to the Dauntless is gonna have a more tight overall presentation, better separation in the mix as well. And also the bottom end, the bass is going to be more tight in the presentation. So actually the separation in the Dauntless is going to be better. Also the Dauntless as well is going to have more revealing mids, more revealing highs as well. So it's a bit more aggressive to listen to. So actually it's that revealing nature in the sound makes the Dauntless more of a monitor type of listen to the ear. Is going to be more revealing of a listen. But actually on the other side, the Dauntless is going to be more fatiguing to listen to for a long listening session. That is the downside on this. Actually for me, the vocals is going to have better positioning for me in the TFZ My Love 4. And also actually the top end as well, it's gonna have maybe a bit more body in the cymbals compared to what you're getting with the Dauntless. The Dauntless still has maybe a touch less body in the cymbals, but the top end in the Dauntless is going to be more revealing of a lesson, more musical of a lesson. They have a lot of similarities here, the TFZ Milo 4 being more bassy of a lesson, and the Dauntless as well having more clarity on top, having a bit more revealing sound as well. So if you're into maybe more of a monitor type of listen to the ear, you might like the Dauntless. If you're into more of a bassy, fun type of listen, you might like the TFZ Milo 4. Alright, so let's try to close this thing. So for the Kotori Audio Dauntless, who is this for? So this is for those people who's looking for a clarity focused monitor type of IEM in the $70 range. So actually you're getting that nicely built IEM for me, one of the better looking ones, quite refined in the overall design here. And actually that sound as well, you're getting that ample extension on top. Pretty controlled and bass here in the mix. Quite clean in the presentation, better presentation, tighter presentation compared to your TFZs, which has ample bass at the bottom usually. Clear vocal presentation in the mix as well, pushes through the mix nicely. So for some guitar tracks and also vocal tracks as well, the vocals and also guitars pushes through the mix nicely. So for some live monitoring, guitar monitoring, podcast monitoring, this will be nice of a listen on the ear. And of course, if you do like that maybe aggressive sound as well, revealing sound, you will like this very lively type of IEM. However, in the other side for me, I do encounter maybe a bit more hotness or aggressiveness or sibilant than what I would like here. So there's maybe a touch too much here for me. So this won't be something that you can listen to for a long listening session. That is one of the major downside here. So for those who's sensitive to fatigue, treble as well, you won't like this IEM. So for me, I actually will like this for some real monitoring. So if I'm gonna do some maybe guitar monitoring, this will be something that I will use. And also maybe for some podcast monitoring, I can use this as well. But for my normal listening, this is a bit too aggressive for me of a listen, and this won't go to my top 5 here in this channel. Alright, so that's my check with the Kotori Audio Dauntless. Actually, when they reached out to me for this, it was really interesting because it's the first time that I've heard of Kotori Audio, and it's always interesting for me to check out new brands here on the channel because they do offer you a different sound to the ear. Of course, that's our video for today. If you learned something, leave a like and subscribe for content like this in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next zpolt video. Goodbye.